Tomorrow is the 5th day of Summerween. We're getting there, and I need to pick my book that I'm gonna read for day 5 of Summerween. And when you're seeing this, it will be the 5th day of Summerween. So let's see what we're gonna read. Twelve. This one. What is it? Oh, Mapping the Interior. Finally, a novella. Go grab that one. So this is Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. It is a horror novella. I know it has themes of grief in here. It is about a son who lost his father, I think, and he sees his ghost. And I've heard good things, but I don't know much other than that. I don't want to know much more other than that. So I'll be reading this. So I made my Halloween themed, fall themed treat yesterday. I listened to a scary playlist yesterday while I got ready. So I just need to watch a scary movie at some point. I need to get my son to watch one with me. Today would be a good day for it because it's so rainy and yucky. A little over 50% of the way through Stephen Graham Jones' Mapping the Interior. I have read quite a bit from Stephen Graham Jones before. I've read My Heart is a Chainsaw and the second book in that series. I have one more left to go. I've read I Was a Teenage Slasher. That one's my absolute favorite. Only Good Indians and Buffalo Hunter Hunter. So I've read quite a bit. I read Mongrels. I've read a bunch. Anyways, everyone always talks about this one, so I was excited to get another Stephen Graham Jones novella in. I think the only other one I've read is Night of the Mannequins. That was Stephen Graham Jones, right? I'm liking this. It's definitely a more sad, griefy horror type of a novella. It's about a 12-year-old boy who moved off the reservation after his father died when he was, I think, 4 years old. He has a younger brother who has special needs and is bullied a lot at school, so he's constantly under pressure to try to protect him because he wants to be a good big brother. You know, they push him around, they write things on his back, just very not nice stuff. So he tries to protect him as much as he can, and he sometimes sleepwalks, and he sees his dead father recently in full fancy dance regalia, and he never was a powwow dancer, but people have said that he always loved the powwow when he was little. So his son's saying, like, look, he got to do what he wanted to do after he passed away. His dad, you know, didn't have the best reputation, and they're not quite sure how he died. He died kind of mysteriously. He drowned. They live on this modular home that's set up off the ground on cement blocks, and there are some scenes underneath that are very claustrophobic and creepy. Obviously, I can't tell you too much because this is a novella, but so far this is like heartwarming in a way, but also, like I said, claustrophobic and a bit anxiety inducing at times so far. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this. It won't take me very long. And at the center of this is really just a boy who is searching for his identity, for his background, to have a feeling of closeness and connection with his past and his community and his tribe, and, you know, this reservation life that he really has never known because they moved off the reservation after their father died. Since schools are better and you have a better chance of graduating, and also his father did have a reputation, so getting away from that. Talks about how, like, though his father never really, like, grew up or left high school. Yeah, it's just this boy trying to seek some sort of connections with his father, but then also it seems to be that things are actually happening, ghosty wise, supernatural wise. So I'm liking this, and I'll let you know when I finish. I have finished Mapping the Interior. I gave this 4 stars. I thought this was really good. It just didn't push it to 5 stars for me. It's beautifully written. It accomplishes a whole lot in 100 or so pages. Yeah, it packs an emotional and disturbing punch. It was definitely more disturbing than I thought it would be, although I should have expected that, having read enough Stephen Graham Jones before to know that it's probably going to be disturbing. It's definitely grief horror, but also it's angry, and this boy is angry about what has happened and what his life has turned into, and it's revenge and violent. So I ended up liking it and being surprised by it, being surprised by a lot of the things that happened in the second 50 pages of this. I didn't expect it to go in that direction, but I liked it. And then at the end is a big WTF too. So I think this is a good one to read, especially if you want to try Stephen Graham Jones's writing, because it is short. Night at the Mannequins too is one I would recommend if you want to try like one of the novellas. Stephen Graham Jones is one that it takes me a little bit longer to read. I have to kind of get into the flow of his writing every time that I pick up a book. It's not one that you can just, at least for me, he's not an author that I can just pick up and just easily read. I really need like quiet and time, but I do enjoy his work. I haven't disliked anything. I think mostly 4 and 5 stars from him. I need to pick another book because I finished this one. Sorry about all those back windows back there. Maybe if it's not the best, but it will have to do. So we're gonna pick another book. Let me take my envelopes out. 2. I wonder what number 2 is. We have number 2, and it is fan service. So this is like the only non-horror I have on here, and I could totally use a break from horror, so I am happy. This is fan service by Rosie Danan, and it is a romance, and it is about a woman who's obsessed with this show called The Arcane Files. It's a werewolf detective show. She's a big fan of this detective show, and then for some reason she meets the main star of that show, and apparently he's turning into a werewolf, and she's trying to help him with that. I don't know. I don't really know, but it sounded like a fun time, so I will be reading this one next, taking a little break from horror with a little spooky vibes paranormal romance. My little summer stack for prompt 5 on Instagram. And these are the TBR options that I still haven't gotten to yet. I can't see this one. Moon Spider, like Jagged Teeth. This one I need to get to for Thursday. So I might have to make an executive decision if we don't pick this one by Thursday and just read it on Thursday. 3 more days, including today. I'm ready to go on my run in the rain today. I do not have an audiobook for fan service, so I'm actually going to start Victor LaValle's The Devil in Silver. I think I've listened to maybe a half hour of this previously. I don't have an audiobook for fan service, and this is one of my options, so I think I'll just start it and chip away at it throughout the day today, because I do desperately need to do some housework, and we're not going anywhere today, so that's a possibility. That is something that I could get done today, and tomorrow I need to go grocery shopping, so today would be a good day to do some things around here. I figure like if I draw something that I do have an audiobook for, then I could pause this audiobook and continue on with this one, because I did take this one out from Hoopla and it is due back on the 10th. So if I need to pause it, that's fine. But I'm just going to chip away on it on my run, and I will see you later on when I get back. Probably not, probably after I shower, because I'm going to look like a drowned rat after I run. Also, I did forget to say that The Devil in Silver by Victor LaValle is about a Black man who gets wrongfully incarcerated in a mental institution. He is being haunted, and the patients in general are being haunted by this creature with a old man's body and the head of a bison, so that's creepy. And we'll see where this one goes and where this one takes me. Probably some unpleasant places. So I did end up running. I ran 3 miles in the rain, but it wasn't too bad. It was like a sprinkly, like constant rain, but not anything too crazy or heavy, and it's not super windy. It's a little windy, not crazy. I got about 57 pages into The Devil in Silver by Victor LaValle, so I thought I'd give you a little update there. This is really greatly written. The character work in here is so good. Our main character, his name is Pepper, is a Black man, and he is being put through the ringer at this mental hospital. His roommates keeps asking him for quarters, and he has a conspiracy theory about what is going on. His roommate does. There is this other older woman named Dory who is there, who's helping to get orientated with the hospital. He's only supposed to be there for 72 hours. He's there longer than 72 hours. I'm sure he'll end up there longer than 72 hours. He'll do something stupid, or he will, you know, do something small and they'll make an excuse to keep him there. He was basically incarcerated. He went to a school to beat up somebody's ex-husband that was giving his ex-wife a hard time, calling him, harassing her, abusing her. So he went there to give him the what for and tell him to leave this woman alone, and he ended up getting arrested. The cops were going into overtime and they were told they weren't gonna get paid any overtime. So instead of processing him at the police station, because that would take too long and they wouldn't be getting paid well for it, they dropped him off at the psych ward of this hospital because they didn't want to deal with it and they wanted to not work anymore. They wanted to get off work. So yeah, no good reason. And they bring him to this hospital and he has to stay there for 72 hours. His roommate is like nice, kind of, but also hassles him and gives him a hard time. They're drugging him, you know, giving him sedatives and other things that they give all the people there to keep them sedated and more calm and not agitated easily. And at night, he opens his eyes and just sees like the giant pupilless or irisless eyes gleaming over him and breathing hot into his face. It's fucking scary. But like I said, the character work, Dory, everyone's very individualized and well fleshed out so far in here that I'm really liking. Even like people we haven't even met, like the ex-wife who he ends up calling, the ex-wife that he beat up this person for, he ends up calling. We get a very good clear picture of what she is like, the nurses, the staff, just everybody. Like very quickly you get a good grasp on who they are and just their personalities, and it's just done so wonderfully. And I'm only 50 pages in, and Victor LaValle, I've read Ballad of Black Tom by him, really enjoyed that. I know I didn't draw this randomly, but my Hoopla credit will be on the 10th, so I wanted to make sure to get this in before then. So I'm gonna chip away at it while fan service doesn't have an audiobook, so I will be reading some of that today at least and chipping away at this as well. And this is my book I've been reading in the dark a little bit every night, What Stalks the Deep. This is a short novella by T. Kingfisher. It's the third in a series. The first one was What Moves the Dead, and it's pretty short, and I'm about, I think, 30% of the way in, 20-something% of the way in. Let me check. 23% in, so a little less than I thought, because I've been falling asleep so quickly once I start reading in the dark. But this one follows the same character from the other ones, and she sort of is like a detective scientist-y type of person, and she solves these mysteries that may not have paranormal aspects to them. This one is in a cave or mine, I think, and that's really creepy. I hate caves, I hate underground, it makes me very claustrophobic just thinking about being underground. I can do the subway, but I try not to think about it while I'm doing it. If you get what I mean. Tunnels, there's like tunnels, I think in New Jersey or something, that goes underground and it's long. It's like, yikes. I don't like that. So that creeps me out. But this is also like silly and fun at the same time. I forget the main character's name, but she is just like very quippy. And as far as pronouns with her go, I forget what they use. It's like a third pronoun that's specific to the fantasy world or fantasy country that they're from. So I forget what that pronoun is, but they're non-binary. Anyways, I am going to be going to the library and going to CVS to pick up meds and maybe stopping at the bookstore because they have the one by I Who Have Never Known Men, the short story compilation that it's, or like three short story bind up that she came out with, and I have a free paperback filled up stamp card. So if it's still there by the time I get there, I think I'm gonna grab that. But I need to go to get the meds first before they go on lunch at 1:30 and go to the library. This, I need to return to the library. I'm very sad. I completely forgot about my in-person book club, which was on Monday, and I read this. I finished this on Thursday. I had it ahead of time and everything. This was okay. I think I gave it like a 3.5, low 4-star. This is a World War II in which witches exist, and we're trying to get this book that is very powerful and keep it out of German hands. And I thought it was good. It's not really my cup of tea, not something I would have read without the book club, which is annoying because I forgot to go to the book club, so I have to return this. But anyways, at least I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good read. Anyways, I'm gonna go now, and I will talk to you when I have something else to say. Just got back from doing my errands and went to the library. in the bookstore. So my library does summer reading, and they have like a couple of shelves of books you can just pick. Sometimes there are ARCs, sometimes they are just books that people have donated or books they have. And so I got these two for free, which this one I know people have been saying forever is good, and so I just grabbed it since it was free. And then Angel Down, which I was actually on the wait list for this one, I had it on hold, so I grabbed it. Brand new book. And it might not be brand new, but it's new to me and it's in great shape. And I picked up Seek the Traitor Song by Veronica Roth, which I wanted to give a try. And then went to the bookstore and I had a free paperback. So I picked up the new Jacqueline Hartman, which is a translated work. And I think it's like 3 different stories. Yes, a trio of novellas translated into English for the first time, each plumbing the depths of the vital human instinct, defiance. So I love the cover of this. I think it's really pretty, although it's hard to see because of the lighting. That's better. So I'm curious to see if I like this one. She wrote I Who Have Never Known Man. So I'm a little over 100 pages into fan service now, and this is a 400-page romance, so it's a little bit long for a romance as my preferred length, but we'll see how it goes. There's a little added aspect of the paranormal in here, so it may work out for me. In this one we have Alex, who's kind of like a gothy girl outcast. She works as a vet tech, and she used to be obsessed with this TV show named The Arcane Files, where there was werewolves and vampires. It's sort of like a supernatural situation, and it's been off the air for years now, but it went for 13 seasons. And when she was young, she met, and he did not live up to expectations. He was, fine when he met her, but afterwards she overheard him talking to the photographer about how she was real awkward and a big dork. And so she decided she didn't like him anymore. But she did, previous to that, run an online forum all about the show, and it was like a fan site. So 17 years later, after she met him, this guy, his name is Devin. Devin is down on his luck. He still has a lot of money from filming the show, but he hasn't really hit it big after that. He grew up as a child actor, and he started in the show. So one day he gets caught on camera sort of doing what seems to be a werewolf transformation. He wanted the show to restart and re-up, but his agent's like, no, that's not going to happen. Like, everybody has moved on from that. And then this video of him showed up, and everyone thinks it's really pathetic, like it was doctored and fake, because he wanted the show to be revamped and rebooted. But that's not the truth. The truth is that he may just be turning into an actual werewolf. So he looks up online, like, what to do if you're turning into a werewolf. And this fan site comes up. So he emails the moderator, and she still has an email attached to the site, even though she hasn't, been active or been using it for years. So they meet up, and it's essentially going to be her teaching him about or helping him with this change he's going through. So it's interesting so far. They're just getting to know each other. They're trying to figure things out. And yeah, I'm liking it so far. It's a nice little break from the horror that I've been reading, especially with yesterday when I read The Black Farm, which is a rather horror-y, extreme horror. Anyways, we had dinner now, and I think tonight I'm going to watch Scream with my son. This will be the first time watching it, I think. Bryn, have you seen Scream before? yeah, so this will be his first time watching Scream.
Oh no!
Finished up watching Scream with my son for tonight, so I am here to close out the vlog. I have to finish this one tomorrow, and I'll probably read a little of this before I go to bed. And I hope you enjoyed this vlog. There's 2 more days of Summerween left, then we'll wrap this shebang up. If you enjoyed this vlog, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and put a woof in the comments if you made it to the end. Thank you.